Is this brand new Titleist T200 iron the best iron on the market? Well, we're going to find out in this video. I'm going to test the brand new T200s and also compare them to one of the most popular irons in the world, the TaylorMade P790s. That's absolutely down the flag, to be honest. They're stunning. That was interesting. Look at this. Go in the hole. Wow. So the Titleist T200. This is the third iteration of this iron, and I've got to say, they look absolutely incredible. I mean, so sleek. You've seen me review the T100s, the T150s, the T350s coming very soon, but these are gorgeous looking irons. Now, they're a hollow head construction, very similar to P790s, and they are a distance iron, but apparently have incredible feel. Let's find out if that is the case. So we've got 9 iron, 7 iron, and 5 iron to hit. Even behind the golf ball like that, that's a good looking iron. I don't think, in fact, I'm going to grab this for a minute. I don't think there's a great deal of difference between that and the T150s. In fact, there's hardly anything. You can tell it's stronger lofted. This 9 iron is at 38.5 degrees, which is considerably stronger than the T150s. However, it's a gorgeous looking iron. It's not too oversized, right? I'm desperate to hit this actually. Yeah, really nice behind the ball. I'm expecting this to go quite a long way, to be fair. I'll tell you what, straight out the blocks there. That felt really, really solid. It sounded good as well. Sometimes with hollow-headed golf clubs, I fear that you get this kind of real hollow sound almost. That sounded crushed. Decent carry distance. I've actually put the pin out at 160 yards and I'm hitting 9 iron. That is 10 yards further than what I'd normally hit a 9 iron. But again, with the loft of this 9 iron being 38.5, I'm expecting it to go a little bit further. I mean, that one carried at 153. It was a good strike as well. It felt very much in the middle. Tiny bit thin, that one. Good flight. I mean, that's absolutely down the flag, to be honest. Look at that. Yeah. What more can I say, to be honest with you? That, honestly, that one wasn't as crushed as the first one. It actually carried further, surprisingly. Carried 154 yards. Maybe a tiny bit thin. Good spin rate as well. Spin rate in the high, kind of mid to high 7,000 RPM. Ball speed 114 miles per hour. Club head speed 87. Very good. Let's go a couple more with the 9. 3 out of 3 safely on the green. Look at them. I mean, again, truth be told, that's a great golf shot. Truth be told, that was a tiny bit from the toe, just a touch. 155 yards of carry distance. I mean, I think 4 shots there. Every single one of them is on the green. Every one of them produced a great ball flight. I sometimes fear with these kind of type of irons, these hollow head designs, when they get a bit strong with the loft, I worry that you might get that one that goes like 10 yards too far when you don't want it to. But out of those 4 then, they were really consistent. I'm going to go one more with the 9 iron. Mega. Really, really good. High launch, very steep descent angle. Seem to be snapping on the green really quickly. Yeah, I can't. Love it. Really, really good. Okay, 7 iron up next. I've got to compliment Titleist on the design work this year. I think it's absolutely stunning. And again, I mentioned it in the T100 and 150 video, is that you can blend the set really easily this time round. Like, I remember the first ever T200 irons, they kind of looked a bit different to all the other irons, where these now, it wouldn't be weird if you had this in the long irons, maybe the 150s in the middle irons, and even the T100s in the shorter irons. You'd have to match the lofts a little bit, but looks-wise, I think they've absolutely nailed it. Really good. I've also got in my hand the most popular really without much argument, the TaylorMade P790 is one of the most popular irons ever made, because these T200s are absolutely in this category where the kind of distance irons, player distance irons, to be fair, they're not like, they don't claim to be the most forgiving irons. That's where certainly Titleist have got the T350s this year. I'll tell you what, I mean, both sets are gorgeous. I'm loving this kind of chrome and black. I mean, there's not much in it really. If I had to choose one for looks, I mean, I'll let you guys decide. But for me, I would probably go slightly towards the Titleist, to be honest with you. But obviously that's all opinion based. I would just say that the TaylorMade is just a little bit more boxy on the top edge. But again, very, very, very similar. Not much in it at all. Right, I'm gonna hit the P790 first. Let me get some numbers with that, and then we'll compare it with the T200. So I've actually put the green out here at 190 yards. I've pulled that one, granted, but you can see how far they go. This is the P790. What's interesting with this kind of little experiment, this kind of head-to-head, is that both clubs are identical lofts at 30.5 degrees, same length, they're almost matched up exactly. There's definitely, I mean, I'm going to compare it to the 7 in a minute. This definitely just sounds a little bit, what's the right word? You know, it's a weird description for it. It sounds more powerful, like this P790. It's got more of a crack to the sound of it when you hit it. If that's got the distance, that's absolutely over the flag. Yeah, very nice. Like kind of carrying 180 yards, which for this loft is kind of what I'd expect to see. Okay, so that was the P790. I'll show the numbers in a minute. What's interesting for me, and why I wanted to compare these two irons as well, is that they're absolutely aimed at the same type of golfer as well. Anywhere from kind of a 5 handicap, to be honest, up to 15 handicap. It sits right in that range, where it might be a kind of single figure handicap that wants a little bit more distance, or a mid handicapper who wants to try and get that distance to get the handicap down. Okay, we'll look at the numbers in a second. Let's go T200 7 iron. Again, there's nothing much in the looks at all. That was interesting. I mean, mega, what a golf shot, by the way. I mean, I can't really grumble at the performance of that one tiny bit. That was crushed out the middle, 184 yards. I mean, great ball flight, little tiny draw, landed on the green, great. What I was just going to pick up on, this, as it's gone into the longer iron, the 7 iron, definitely has that slightly more similar sound to the P790, that kind of more of a crack. For me, I'm obviously going to look into numbers a little bit more. I wouldn't be able to tell much of a difference between these two irons, P790 or T200. They feel and look like twins. Wow. I was saying that these golf clubs are like twins, and they honestly are. I mean, that's a huge compliment to this set of T200s, because for me, the P790s are one of the best irons ever made. Looking at the numbers, look at this. It's absolutely crazy how similar they are. Carry distance, both sets, on average, 185 yards. Again, talking about that 30.5 degrees of loft. Almost exactly the same spin rate, almost exactly the same ball speed. The only slight difference from what I'm seeing, and it is only a touch, is the peak height of the 200s was slightly higher than the peak height of the P790s, but not really much in it at all. For me, I mean, that is as good as Titleist can get, because Titleist always struggle. They've always had this tagline again, serious clubs for serious golfers. They've always struggled to kind of reach out to that mid handicapper, that slightly higher handicapper. And they probably more would lose sales out to TaylorMade, or people would be buying TaylorMade a little bit more because they're marketed, etc. I feel like Titleist in this set have made an iron that's just as good and that may just kind of tempt more people into trying it. And even looking at price, like the T200s compared to the P790s, almost exactly the same price. What I am just going to finish off with though, I've got the 5-iron to hit as well with the T200s. I just want to give them a whack just to see what they kind of feel like, see if there's any drop off in performance, etc. But overall, very impressed with these irons. Okay, last few shots, 5-iron in hand. It's 24 degrees, so I'm expecting this to go a bloody long way. Good looking iron again as well. Maybe not, for me, as someone who thankfully can hit good shots occasionally, for me, it's quite streamlined. It's not oversized, this longer iron, where maybe for kind of that 15, 20 handicap who might be tempted in here, might not like the look of this, but that's where they could maybe put a T350 in the bag. Right, let's give this a hit. Go in the hole. Go in the hole. I don't need to hit any more golf shots. That's, for me, very impressed with the T200s, as I have been with the T150s and the T100s. Next up will be the T350s. Very good Titleist, very good indeed. Impressive.